I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
It is Nikki here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be attempting to create some dip powders. I pretty much started off camera because I wasn't going to record myself doing this just in case it turned out bad. But I figured, why not share the experience? And so this is the Mia Secret. I don't know why I took the top off. The Mia Secret Clear. And I end up putting this in my blender. So I bought this Bella blender from, I think it was Best Buy. And I put that in there. And so it has more of a dusty effect than the original, which is this one. This is the Mia Secret White. And it is the clear. Because I was going to do the same to the clear as well to get a more fine consistency, because dip powder is pretty much acrylic powder and a finer grit of acrylic powder. So I figured if I have acrylic powder and blend it, then that can be somewhat of my dip powder. Because in my last video I attempted to do dip nails and I realized halfway through that I didn't have clear dip powder. So this is my way of having clear dip powder to do dip nails without having to actually go out and buy clear dip powder. So the next time I do my dip nails, I will be using this as my clear dip to encapsulate my glitters. I'm gonna take this whole thing and dump it in my blender. Ooh. Dusty. I end up putting it in the blender for about a minute or so. And once I was done with that, I used this funnel that I got from the Dollar Tree to pour it back in the original container. That way I'm not making any mess. And just like that, I broke my blender. I swear I'm the clumsiest person ever. So I'll probably be returning that, unfortunately. That sucks. That puts the damper on this project. That's why this is so discouraging sometimes. Can't believe I just broke that. I need to do this right now. And so I'm going in and doing a voiceover for the rest of this. My mood and attitude while recording this video was so bad. I don't even know why I continued to record. But what I'm doing now is pretty much going in with the chalk that I have because I wanted to make a great dip powder. And I'm going to crush this with the mortar and pestle. Now my goal here was to get this pigment chalk as fine as possible. That way it can mix well with the acrylic powder that I blended. Now I'm going in with this 5-gram container and putting that pigment in there. And it pretty much filled that whole container. So crushing that powder, I would say, will give me about 5 grams of pigment. So I had this bright idea to do another one, but instead of doing it straight into the bowl, I put it in this Ziploc bag and crushed it that way. And it actually turned out pretty well. I was trying not to make a mess, trying to figure out how I could do this where I don't have to make a mess. And when I do different colors, I won't have to clean out the bowl after every color. So I end up doing it this way. And it actually worked out pretty well to where it crushed it fine as if it was open. And I was able to get the pigment as fine as possible with less mess. And so after that, I just end up transferring it into the 5-gram container. And as you can see, it came out pretty fine as well. And this is a 10-gram container. So I'm going in with a scoop and a half of the clear and then a half a scoop of a white. Now, note to self, I need to get measuring spoons so I have exact measurements of everything. That way, when I do it again, I can replicate this multiple times without having to guess. And I was trying to do it like people do it on YouTube, where they put it in a bottle and shake, but that wasn't working for me. And so I end up transferring everything back into the bottle and peso and just mixed it that way. And that's when I started to see that color come through. After I finish mixing, I'm going to go in with this dip powder. Now, at some point, my camera started recording because I dipped this originally and I didn't like the way it looked on the swatch dip, where it still had a little more spots in it. And so I went in and mixed it again. And now this is the second attempt of me dipping that exact same powder. So this one, the first one I did, but I saw that it had like little specks of gray still. So I went in and grinded a little more. And this is what it came out to after a little more grinding. I can still see a few specks in it if I look really close. And so I'll probably have to grind it just a little bit more. But I think this one came out a little better with the application, but it will work. I like it. At least I think I'm on the right track of something. So that's that one. So I do like the second one better, so I'm gonna keep this swatch. And I'm just gonna throw that one away. All right, so on to the second grade. So taking notes from the first one, for this one, I only did 1 scoop of clear and a half a scoop of white before going in and adding the pigment and then mixing it all up. And this is why I'm going to get measuring spoons next time I do it, because if I wanted to recreate this again, I have to remember what I did, and that requires me to come back to the video because I took no notes. I was just trying to experiment to see how it's going to come out and if this is something that I want to continue to do. So for this one, I only put a little bit in the container to try to swatch it. I wanted to make sure that it didn't have spots or specks in it before having to pour it back in and grind it some more. So that was just me doing a test before I poured the rest of that in the container. So once I dust that excess off, I'm going to go in and do a second coat, activate it, and then do a top coat. So this is what the second one looked like after it's been activated and top coated. It pretty much look like the same shade. Oh, let me see. Let me get the other one. So this is the first one. And this is the second one. Oh no, I can see the difference. This one is more of a lighter one. This one is more, yeah, I can see the difference. Now I don't know if you can see the specks of dots like I can. But for my first try, I am okay with the results. I am okay with this. A little more practice, a little more time. Well, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate it. I did like how the colors came out. There's a few things I would like to get before I start mixing colors. One being a measuring stick. That way I have correct measurements for everything. But overall, I am liking this process, and I will definitely be doing more, especially because I ordered some pigments that should be coming in soon. So I can't wait. Please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I will appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
What a wonderful world.